People's energy can be so annoying sometimes, but that's not because of them, it's because your nervous system is actually being affected by theirs. So if you have a problem absorbing everyone's energy all the time, every day, especially if it's someone you live with, it is very hard to stop it. It is hard disconnecting from that energy, especially when it's always, everywhere around you, every single second of the day. A lot of people say that absorbing people's energy is just energy. Yeah, I mean, there are good and bad energies, but it is more complex than that. You don't actually just absorb bad energies. Those energies are contagious, but it doesn't mean it comes from you. You get affected by their nervous system. And it doesn't always mean the person is mean. It just means you need to be more aware of when it starts, when your own nervous system is being affected by external stimuli and people. A lot of people will just tell you to visualize or do some breath work, but in reality, that will not stop you from picking up other people's energies. I struggle with this a lot. And I've been in many situations where people around me, wherever I was, they always affected me and it always stressed me out, and it felt like a worse time than it would have been if I just didn't let it affect me. What actually works? What you want to do first is realize it is your nervous system being affected by someone else's. Notice when it starts. Notice when you start feeling that anxiety, that stress, that anger, that sadness that is in the energy around you someone is projecting, and realize you were never in that state to begin with. They brought it to you. Once you notice when certain people give you a very dysregulated energy that affects yours, if you're already at a baseline a anxious or very stressed person, they just don't help the situation. When you're actually in a moment of you want to rest, they stop that from you, and it gets worse because on top of your energy that's already chaotic, as I can imagine, if you absorb people's energies easily, it often means you have a lot within you and you already deal with a lot. And I feel that. I really do. To actually rest doesn't mean to sleep, especially if the people around you don't let you. What you want to do is go out, do something that picks up new energy that's positive, even if it's new people. Find out that socializing with someone that's actually calm will calm your very dysregulated system in general. That sounds logical, but it is. The more you spend time in environments that make you feel safe, the easier it will be to deal with energies that are very hard to deal with in general, like where you live. If you live with people that's like that, you'll pick up on their energies even worse if you constantly stay in that zone. So the more time you spend in safe, energetic atmospheres and environments, you will have time to recharge. But when you don't really have the choice to stop absorbing, is, as I said, you notice it, but when you do, you need to cut it off immediately. Excuse yourself. Go take a breather, go outside, go to your room, listen to music, cut the noise, cut the stress, cut their energy off by stepping out. Instead of grounding yourself mentally and trying to block their energies, like you just try to disconnect in the moment, remove yourself from the situation, your body, your physical self, remove it. It's like your body needs a reset. It's not just a mental break. It is your body that is constantly fight or flight. That can be very taxing on your mental. Try, if you can't block it out with your mind, block it out by physically stepping out. The reason is when you actually start to absorb people's energy, it isn't just because it's contagious in a energetic way, but you start feeling a sense of responsibility. Once you start hearing someone's negativity, hearing someone's complaints and troubles, you will start feeling responsible to fix them. You should not always feel like it's your responsibility, because it is not. You want to make them feel better, you want to help them, you understand them, and that's fine. It's normal to be understanding, but it's not okay if it takes a toll on your mental and physical health. And your energy cannot be spent on fixing others if you can't even fix yourself. And if they're not even considerate that your energy and your mental state matters too. We usually think we're supposed to carry their energy as well. And it is like a reflex. You don't really notice it, which is why even if you want to do some mental disconnection and still be there for them, you should step out because you cannot deal with so much of this dysregulated energy. Another tip, which is the biggest one, and it's when you also notice and when it's constant, when you truly see that they are not considerate of your mental state, they don't ask if everything's okay with you, they just come to you with their problems, their issues, their sadness, their complaints. Do they ask how you are? Do they ask, have you been okay? Have you been sad? Do you have any complaints? What's going on in your life? Once it's always coming to you with that energy, instead of taking some of your dysregulated energy and trying to help you alleviate them. I'm sorry, but you need to cut them off. Especially for friends or people you don't live with. If you go and hang out and it's always the same thing, even if it's online friends, cut them off. Because they clearly do not care of your mental health either. If they don't take care of theirs, they're not going to take care of yours. This is when you realize they're not doing their own work. They're just complaining to complain. And that takes so much of your energy because you are here with advice all the time. And then it just becomes toxic because you're here giving your energy that you already have to deal with. And they continue with their problems all the time. These are honestly the best things to realize when absorbing people's energies. If you're someone that's empathetic especially, you realize you need to cut a lot of people off. You need to take time by yourself. You need to realize cutting some people off is also self-respect, and for your healing and growth, it's very important. It's very common and yet not talked about enough. Let me know if you struggled with this. I sure have. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.